But so Matt, what's your big hopes for the announcement? What are you hoping to see released today, or announced today, or even shown today?
Yeah, this is what I was yapping about earlier, folks. So, my prediction based on what I've seen from the GPT-2 chatbot, LM and, speaking with the community, speaking with people at OpenAI, what I can guess here is that they're going to do some sort of overhaul of ChatGPT and some sort of new version of GPT that this new GPT-4 version is multimodal both in video and audio, so we can interact with it in a much more natural way. But there's no way to say for certain. GPT-5 might be that multimodal AI. We don't really know what's going to happen, but I'm very excited either way. I'm hoping it's not like a big nothing burger because a lot of people are expecting it to be like that, I feel.
It's going to be dark mode. I'm telling you, just switch to dark mode. That's all they're going to announce.
Yeah.
8 seconds,
Yeah.
7 seconds.
5. Well, I personally am most excited for GPT updates. If they could add more to that, more memory, more everything, and multimodal. But we're about to find out because this is the beginning. So let's get into it. We are in chat, so everybody who wants to share ideas in chat will be there, and mostly we'll be rather silent. We don't want to interrupt this interesting announcement. So
All
let's
right.
go.
Hi, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. It's great to have you here today. Today, I'm going to talk about 3 things. That's it. We will start with why it's so important to us to have a product that we can make freely available and broadly available to everyone. And we're always trying to find out ways to reduce friction so everyone can use ChatGPT wherever they are. So today, we'll be releasing the desktop version of ChatGPT and the refreshed UI that makes it simpler to use, much more natural as well. But the big news today is that we are launching our new flagship model, and we are calling it GPT-4o. The special thing about GPT-4o is that it brings GPT-4 level intelligence to everyone, including our free users. We'll be showing some live demos today to show the full extent of the capabilities of our new model, and we'll be rolling them out iteratively over the next few weeks. All right, so let's get started. A very important part of our mission is to be able to make our advanced AI tools available to everyone for free. We think it's very, very important that people have an intuitive feel for what the technology can do. And so we really want to pair it with this broader understanding. And we're always finding ways to reduce that friction. And recently, we made ChatGPT available without the sign-up flow. And today, we're also bringing the desktop app to ChatGPT because we want you to be able to use it wherever you are. As you can see, it's easy, it's simple, it integrates very, very easily in your workflow.
Voice.
Along with it, we've also refreshed the UI. We know that these models get more and more complex, but we want the experience of interaction to actually become more natural, easy, and for you not to focus on the UI at all, but just focus on the collaboration with ChatGPT. And now the big news. Today, we are releasing our newest flagship model. This is GPT-4o. GPT-4o provides GPT-4 level intelligence, but it is much faster, and it improves on its capabilities across text, vision, and audio. For the past couple of years, we've been very focused on improving the intelligence of these models, and they've gotten pretty good. But this is the first time that we are really making a huge step forward when it comes to the ease of use. And this is incredibly important because we're looking at the future of interaction between ourselves and the machines. And we think that GPT-4o is really shifting that paradigm into the future of collaboration, where this interaction becomes much more natural and far, far easier. But making this happen is actually quite complex because when we interact with one another, there's a lot of stuff that we take for granted. The ease of our dialogue when we interrupt one another, the background noises, the multiple voices in a conversation, or understanding the tone of voice. All of these things are actually quite complex for these models. And until now, with voice mode, we had 3 models that come together to deliver this experience. We have transcription, intelligence, and then text-to-speech. All comes together in orchestration to deliver voice mode. This also brings a lot of latency to the experience, and it really breaks that immersion in the collaboration with ChatGPT. But now, with GPT-4o, this all happens natively. GPT-4o reasons across voice, text, and vision. And with these incredible efficiencies, it also allows us to bring the GPT-4 class intelligence to our free users. This is something that we've been trying to do for many, many months, and we're very, very excited to finally bring GPT-4o to all of our users. Today, we have 100 million people, more than 100 million in fact, they use ChatGPT to create, work, learn. And we have these advanced tools that are only available to our paid users, at least until now. With the efficiencies of 4o, we can bring these tools to everyone. So starting today, you can use GPTs in the GPT store. So far, we've had more than 1 million users create amazing experiences with GPTs. These are custom ChatGPTs for specific use cases. They're available in the store. And now our builders have a much bigger audience where university professors can create content for their students, or podcasters can create content for their listeners. And you can also use vision. So now you can upload screenshots, photos, documents containing both text and images, and you can start conversations with ChatGPT about all of this content. You can also use memory, where it makes ChatGPT far more useful and helpful because now it has a sense of continuity across all your conversations. And you can use browse, where you can search for real-time information in your conversation, and advanced data analysis, where you can upload charts or any information and it will analyze this information, it will give you answers, and so on. Lastly, we've also improved on the quality and speed in 50 different languages for ChatGPT. And this is very, very important because we want to be able to bring this experience to as many people out there as possible. So we're very, very excited to bring GPT-4o to all of our free users out there. And for the paid users, they will continue to have up to 5 times the capacity limits of our free users. But GPT-4o is not only available in ChatGPT, we're also bringing it to the API. So our developers can start building today with GPT-4o and making amazing AI applications, deploying them at scale. 4o is available at 2x faster, 50% cheaper, and 5 times higher rate limits compared to GPT-4 Turbo. But, as we bring these technologies into the world, it's quite challenging to figure out how to do so in a way that's at scale, both useful and also safe. And GPT-4o presents new challenges for us when it comes to safety because we're dealing with real-time audio, real-time vision. And our team has been hard at work figuring out how to build in mitigations against misuse. We continue to work with different stakeholders out there, from government, media, entertainment, all industries, red teamers, civil society to figure out how to best bring these technologies into the world. So over the next few weeks, we'll continue our iterative deployment to bring out all the capabilities to you. But today, I want to show you all these capabilities. So we'll do some live demos. I will bring on two of our research leads, Mark Chen and Berit Zov, to join me for the demo.
Hi, I'm Barrett.
Hey, I'm Mark. So one of the key capabilities we're really excited to share with you today is real-time conversational speech. Let's just get a demo fired up. So I'm taking out a phone. If you are wondering about this wire, it's so we have consistent internet. And if you see, there's this little icon on the bottom right of the ChatGPT app, and this will open up GPT-4o's audio capabilities. Hey, ChatGPT, I'm Mark. How are you?
Oh, Mark. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How about you?
Hey, so I'm on stage right now. I'm doing a live demo, and frankly, I'm feeling a little bit nervous. Can you help me calm my nerves a little bit?
Oh, you're doing a live demo right now? That's awesome. Just take a deep breath. And remember, you're the expert here.
I like that suggestion. Let me try a couple deep breaths. Can you give me feedback on my breaths? Okay, here I go.
Whoa, slow down a bit there. Mark, you're not a vacuum cleaner. Breathe in for a count of 4.
Okay, let me try again. So I'm gonna breathe in deeply, and then breathe out.
For 4, and then exhale slowly.
Okay, I'll try again. Breathing in, and breathe out.
That's it. How do you feel?
I feel a lot better. Thank you so much.
So Mark, you've been working on these capabilities for a while now. Can you tell us a bit how it's different from voice mode?
Right, so if you've used our voice mode experience before, you'll notice a couple key differences. First, you can now interrupt the model. You don't have to wait for it to finish your turn before you can start speaking, and you can just butt in whenever you want. Second, the model is real-time responsiveness. So that means that you don't have this awkward 2 to 3 second lag before you wait for the model to give a response. And finally, the model picks up on emotion, right? When I was breathing super hard there, it could tell, and it knew, hey, you might want to calm down a little bit. You're kind of running a little bit too fast. So, it really has that capability across the board to perceive your emotion. Not only that, though, the model is able to generate voice in a variety of different emotive styles. And it really has a wide dynamic range. So I'm going to fire up another demo for that. Yeah. Hey, ChatGPT, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for asking. How about you?
Pretty good.
What's up?
So my friend Barrett here, he's been having trouble sleeping lately. And I want you to tell him a bedtime story about robots and love.
Oh, a bedtime story about robots and love? I got you covered. Gather round, Barrett. Once upon a time, in a world not too different from ours, there was a robot named Byte. Byte was a curious robot, always exploring.
I started this story, but I want a little bit more emotion in your voice, a little bit more drama.
Got it. Let's add some drama. Once upon a time, in a world not too different from ours, there was a robot named Byte.
No, ChatGPT. I really want maximal emotion, like maximal expressiveness, much more than you were doing before.
Understood. Let's amplify the drama. Once upon a time, in a world not too different from ours, there was a robot named Byte. Wow. Byte
Actually, can
was
you do this in a robotic voice now?
initiating dramatic robotic voice. Once upon a time, in a world not too different from ours, there was a robot named Byte. Byte was a curious robot, always exploring new circuits.
Seeing, Barrett here, calm down a little bit. Can you end the story, but do it in a singing voice?
And so Byte found another robot friend, and they lived circuitly ever after.
Thank you so much.
I definitely feel a lot more relaxed.
You've just seen the voice capabilities, but we also want to show you the vision capabilities as the model can also see the whole world around us.
Yeah, absolutely. Like as you can see, you can chat with ChatGPT in real time, but you can also interact with it with video as well. Okay, so let me boot up ChatGPT. Hey, ChatGPT.
Hello there. How's it going?
It's going really well. Today, I'd really like your help solving a math problem.
I'm all ears. What math problem can I help you tackle today?
So I'm going to write down a linear equation on a sheet of paper, and I'll show you. And then I'd love your help working me through it. But importantly, don't tell me the solution. Just help give me hints along the way.
Got it. Oh. Okay, I see it.
No, I didn't show you yet. Just give me help along the way. 1 second.
Whoops. I got too excited. I'm ready when you are.
Goodbye, Rabbit R1.
So, ChatGPT,
Fair.
what equation did I write down there?
Ah, I see it now. You wrote down 3x plus 1 equals 4.
Yep,
Let's work-
exactly. So what's the first step I should take to try to solve this?
The first step is to get all the terms with x on one side and the constants on the other side. So what do you think we should do with that plus 1?
Okay, I'm going to try to subtract 1 from both sides, and then I'll see what I get.
Great idea. Perfect. Now, what do you get when you subtract 1 from both sides?
Okay,
Dude, I can't wait
so
to try
ChatGPT, this is what I ended up with. How does this look?
Spot on. Now you've isolated the term with x on one side, and it looks like 3x equal 3. What do you think we should do next to solve for x?
I'm not sure. Can you give me another hint?
Of course. You have 3x, and you want to find the value of x. Think about what operation would undo multiplication.
Is it subtraction?
Close, but think of the opposite of multiplication, because 3x means 3 times x.
Okay, I think it's division. Let me try to divide both sides by 3, and let me see what I get.
Bingo! Go ahead and divide both sides by 3.
Okay, so ChatGPT, this is what I ended up with. How does this look?
It looks perfect. You've solved it, and x equals 1. Nicely done. How do you feel about solving linear equations now?
Yeah, honestly, I'm not pretty confident I can solve linear equations. But why would you ever need to use this in the real world? I'm really skeptical.
That's a fair question. Linear equations pop up in a lot of everyday situations, even if we don't realize it. For example, calculating expenses, planning travel, cooking, and even in business for profit and loss calculations. It's basically a way to solve problems where you need to find an unknown value. Plus,
Wow,
it's
okay. I have a lot of unknown values in my life. I'm totally convinced I'm going to learn math now.
I love that attitude. Math can definitely help solve some of life's mysteries. Whenever you're ready to dive into more math, I'm here for you. Anything else you'd like to tackle today?
So ChatGPT, I really love that you taught the value of math to my friend Mark. And I wrote one last thing I'd love if you could take a look at.
Of course. I'd love to see what you wrote. Show it to me whenever you're ready.
Okay, so this is what I wrote down. What do you see?
I see. I love ChatGPT. That's so sweet of you.
Yeah, well, I really appreciate all the help. So yeah, as we can see,
It begins.
Wow, that's quite the outfit you've got on.
yeah, as we can see, we can chat in real time to ChatGPT. And not only that, we can interact with it with video as well.
And I swear, like, if you look at Barrett's GPT history, it's all equations like this.
Now that you know you can do linear equations, can you
Yes.
show us something more complex?
I think so. Okay, next let's try something coding related. So let me take out a computer for this.
It sounds like with the hiccups, they're not faking it this time around.
So I'm going to open the ChatGPT desktop app, like Mira was talking about before.
They're doing that on purpose.
Okay. And to give a bit of background on what's going on, so here we have a computer, and on the screen we have some code, and then the ChatGPT voice app is on the right. So ChatGPT will be able to hear me, but it can't see anything on the screen. So I'm going to highlight the code, Command-C it, and then that will send it to ChatGPT. And then I'm going to talk about the code to ChatGPT. Hey, ChatGPT.
Hey there, how's it going?
Yeah, it's going really well. I was wondering if
Dude,
you could
this
help
is
me with a
crazy.
coding problem today.
Of course, I'd love to help you out. What's the coding problem you're dealing with?
OK, I'm going to share with you some code. 1 second.
Sure thing. Take your time.
Nobody expected this.
So
to
I
be
just
fair,
shared
huh?
some code with you. Could you give me a really brief one-sentence
Dude.
description of what's going on in the code?
This code fetches daily weather data for a specific location and time period, smooths the temperature data using a rolling average, annotates a significant weather event on the resulting plot, and then displays the plot with the average, minimum, and maximum temperatures over the year.
Awesome, thanks so much. And in the code, there's this function foo. Could you describe to me what the plot would look like if I had versus didn't have this function?
Sure. The function foo xy takes in a data frame x containing temperature data and a window size y for calculating the rolling mean. It smooths the average temperature, minimum temperature, and maximum temperature columns by applying a rolling mean over the specified window. With the foo function, the plot would show smoother temperature lines because the rolling mean reduces the noise or fluctuations in the data.
Awesome.
This makes
Thanks so much. So yeah, I definitely will want to apply this function. And so I'm going to generate the plot and then show it to you. Give me 1 second.
Absolutely. Take your time. I'm excited to see the plot when you're ready.
Yeah. So far, ChatGPT has only been able to see the code. And now I'm going to run it, and then I'll use the vision capabilities of the ChatGPT desktop app so it can actually see everything going on the screen as well.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, girlfriend that can code, yeah.
OK, ChatGPT. I'm sharing with you the plot now. I'm wondering if you can give me a really brief one-sentence overview of what you see.
The plot
It seems so
displays
obvious in
smoothed
hindsight.
average, minimum, and maximum temperatures throughout 2018, with a notable annotation marking a big rainfall event in late September.
Fantastic. I have another question for you. Which months do you see the hottest temperatures, and roughly what temperatures do those correspond to?
The hottest temperatures occur around July and August. The maximum temperature during these months is roughly between 25 degrees and 30 degrees, 77 degrees Fahrenheit to 86 degrees Fahrenheit.
What's going on with the y-axis? Is this in Celsius or Fahrenheit?
The y-axis is in Celsius. The temperatures are labeled accordingly, such as average temperature, minimum temperature, and maximum temperature.
Yeah. So as we can see, not only can ChatGPT help me solve very easy linear algebra equations that I need help with, it can also interact with code bases and see the outputs of plots and everything like this going on a computer.
Guys, I would just say everybody share your use case. What do you want to use this for in chat? We're going to do the same.
We asked the live audience on X
yeah,
to submit
absolutely.
a few requests for what they would like us to try out here. So I will take a couple of prompts. Okay. Bot Gaskar wants to know if GPT-4o is capable of real-time translation. Mark, you want to try this one?
Sure.
with
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Yeah.
I speak
is there-
Italian, so we can
okay,
just do
cool.
English
Let's try
Italian.
to do English Italian. Sure, let's do it. Hey, ChatGPT, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for asking. How about you? How's your day going?
I'm doing great. So I would like you to function as a translator. I have a friend here who only speaks Italian, and I only speak English. And every time you hear English, I want you to translate it to Italian. And if you hear Italian, I want you to translate it back to English. Is that good?
Perfetto.
Mark, io mi chiedo se le balene potessero parlare, cosa ci direbbero?
Mike, she wonders if whales could talk, what would they tell us?
They might ask, how do we solve linear equations?
Potrebbero chiederci come risolviamo le equazioni lineari.
Sicuramente sì.
Certainly, yes.
Great. Looks like it works.
All right. So the next one is from Burrito John 78, who asks, can you tell what you're feeling just by looking at your face? Barrett, you want to give this one a try?
Absolutely. Let's try it out. Hey, ChatGPT.
Hey there, what's up? How can I brighten your day today?
Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna show you a selfie of what I look like, and then I'd like you to try to see what emotions I'm feeling based on how I'm looking.
Sounds like a fun challenge. Go ahead and show me that selfie, and I'll put my emotional detective hat on.
Okay, so here's me. So what kind of emotions do you think I'm feeling?
It seems like I'm looking at a picture of a wooden surface.
Oh, you know what? That was
let-
the thing I sent you before. Don't worry, I'm not actually a table. Okay, so take another look.
That makes more sense. There we go. It looks like you're feeling pretty happy and cheerful, with a big smile and maybe even a touch of excitement. Whatever's going on, it seems like you're in a great mood. Care to share the source of those good vibes?
Yeah, no, the reason I'm in a really good mood is because we were doing a presentation showcasing how useful and amazing you are.
Oh, stop it. You're making me blush.
Amazing. Well, that's it for today on live demos. As you can see, this just feels so magical, and that's wonderful. But we also want to remove some of the mysticism from the technology and bring it to you so you can try it for yourself. So over the next few weeks, we'll be rolling out these capabilities to everyone. Today has been very much focused on the free users and the new modalities and new products, but we also care a lot about the next frontier. So soon we'll be updating you on our progress towards the next big thing. And before we wrap up, I just want to thank the incredible OpenAI team, and also thanks to Jensen and the NVIDIA team for bringing us the most advanced GPUs to make this demo possible today. And thank you all very, very much for being a part of this today.
Is that it?
Yep.
That's got to be it, right? Wow.
Wow. Wow. Right?
This is funny. I'm both overwhelmed and underwhelmed. It's like simultaneously.
This is great.
I
So-
know. No,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at my Discord server and they're going insane right now. I'm just saying, I need it now. I need it now. I need it now.
Okay.
It is very.
I think they did it to do the live demos, because whatever they would have announced, because it was kind of a direct stab at what Google did with their Gemini release, right? They had the pre-recorded, edited thing. Oh. Okay, I can, well. Yeah. Well, now it works. You guys will have to deal with a little bit of echo in your headphones. The stream sounds perfectly. Okay.
Oh, okay. As long as the stream sounds good.
Yeah, for sure.
What I was saying is that I'm both. I was both blown away and overwhelmed, and simultaneously underwhelmed. It was kind of weird how. I mean, don't get me wrong. Again, that was all really, really amazing, and I cannot wait to try it out. I've been using the voice assistant on my phone a bunch, and the verboseness and kind of the lagginess is not great. So I'm really excited to try this. I'm just surprised that there wasn't like a whole second section that was going on with like other updates, including there was all the speculation that we were going to be able to use it for phone calls, that I was going to be able to access Google account or Drive, Calendar, etc. So maybe that's all still coming. I don't know. You guys, Matt, what do you think?
I think that they're definitely probably working on that. And I was expecting maybe a little bit more interaction, especially with the desktop app. I was hoping that maybe it had some sort of manipulation, maybe moving files, being able to go out and ingest files all on its own. But I mean, either way, it's cool to see a desktop app. They also didn't mention if it's coming to Windows as well as Mac. And I think people were saying that they missed some of my first comments there because I was muted. So I'll just reiterate that. I saw on my Discord, people are freaking out. They're saying like, we need this now. We need this now. It is very exciting. But also, as we were mentioning earlier, it's interesting that they didn't announce anything more. It was kind of a short little demo, and I understand why they needed to do it live. But I think we were expecting maybe, here's an update on Sora, here's an update on this or that.
Yeah. But we're also following it so closely, and we are aware of all the different kind of frontiers they're battling at. I mean, I personally, I agree, super surprised and like overwhelmed with what they did, because Matt, you had a quick commentary during the stream that, it might have been obvious in hindsight that they're gonna do this, but what's not so obvious is what a big jump they made in terms of latency, especially for vision, right? Vision was so slow.
Yeah.
Even if you use the API, it was like, not even close to this. Like I have to look at the exact numbers, but this wasn't anywhere on my radar or on anybody's radar that I know. Because
I do
That's
want
usually how OpenAI does it.
yeah.
I do want to take a
Tim, go
listen
ahead.
back to the demos as well, because that speed in response almost seems like, again, I want to go back and look at the transcription of it, but it does feel a little bit like filler words, like she's coming in with just like, oh, I think I see what you're saying, but really what's happening there. So you've got this sort of like, pre-programmed filler section while it's actually thinking about the response to. It's gotten a lot faster, guaranteed, but it's actually, I think there's a little bit of a trick there in terms of how it's speeding up the processing by cheating it a little bit.
Works for me.
Yeah.
No,
We'll see when we get it in our own hands is when we'll be able to test it out. So we'll just take them at their word, so to speak, right now. Like, we'll take them with a grain of salt. It could not be as good as they presented for sure. I'm happy they did it live though. That's really good to see it. It did kind of mess up a few times, like you guys saw, where it's like, oh, you're actually a table, you're not a person. And honestly, to me, that is a little bit proof and that it's not actually looking at live video. I think it's taking snapshots every so often. And I don't think it's necessarily an upgrade on a multimodal level. But the audio is very interesting, how it can hear you breathe in and out. What do you guys think about that?
Super interesting. And the emotional awareness of it, right? Like when he turned on the cameras and it could, and I thought it was going to be super generalized, because emotions you can really break down into like, good or bad. And then there's like subcategories, and then there's like all the nuances of the subcategories. And I was really surprised when she looked at him, she was like, you look pretty happy with a hint of excitement, right? That's a pretty nuanced analysis. That's not just like, you look like you're in a good mood. I thought that was really great. Yeah,
and they proposed that as like, hey, we're going to the chat and we're bringing in like chat questions, so we're just going to test it randomly from the chat. But I'm sure like they picked out that one and be like, oh, this is good, we'll show off how emotive it is. But I'd be interested to see if it does have any nuances that they didn't mention or didn't show off in this live demo. And I don't know. It's interesting that they didn't try more things. Like I was expecting them maybe to show it audio of something else, like, oh, here's this sound, can you identify, is this water trickling, for example? Clearly it doesn't have that functionality.
I mean, how about the fact that it's free? That's insane.
Let's talk about that. How, like, this is my point of confusion. So they're like, okay, we're gonna get GPT-4 capabilities into everybody's hands, we're gonna make it multimodal, we're gonna release the desktop app, and it's gonna be accessible to everybody. So is this desktop app with like the high latency vision accessible to everybody now, or is that the new plus feature? Let me check their blog. Maybe they released something.
That was I want to go back and check that. Like, where was there a line between free and paid, or was this all like free? And if so, what's coming to paid?
There's a new blog post.
I'm pretty sure that the paid users now are just getting more chats.
They did. I did note that down, that it was 5 paid users get 5 times the capacity. Is that it though? Or is that, I mean, not is that it? Don't get me wrong.
Maybe they're just giving us some free taste here. I mean, maybe the plus users aren't really getting much of a larger benefit in comparison to the free, in comparison to the way that it was before. But that might mean that something's on the horizon, that only plus users are getting like a GPT-5.
Sora for all paid users.
Or Sora. Sora would be amazing.
So how about this? Look at that. They published a blog post with a lot of extra info. So here you have all the benchmarks and GPT-4o comparing to GPT-4 Turbo.
Right.
Let's just stare at this for a second here.
I do want to comment. Thanks for like 600 viewers, guys. That's pretty incredible. This is over twice what we had on the first stream.
Oh wow, really?
Which is pretty amazing.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
excellent.
we have like 600 viewers.
You guys are amazing. Yeah. Well, I think it's really cool to discuss an environment like this rather than just by sitting by yourself on your phone on the couch. Also, this chat is like way more of a, you know, for like interesting discussion than you will get with 20K people. Great to have you guys here.
Right.
I can't keep up with that at all.
So wait, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's leading on essentially all benchmarks except on this one where it's third.
What benchmark?
They don't have the original GPT-4 in here.
So I believe it ran on
just have
Turbo,
Turbo.
right? Yeah. They don't have the original one. Wait. No, but that's 2014.
Why is Llama 3 400B already benchmarked here? That's crazy.
No, this is the original
Dude, like,
one.
that's not...
Yeah,
Oh,
Matt,
I'm
I think
sorry.
the yellow one is the original one. So basically,
I don't know
what
how
we
I
got
missed
last
that.
year, 86.4, 88. Okay.
So it's just better than pretty much everything else. Better or as good.
And that's a good question. Where do they get the 400B benchmarks? This isn't public yet. This is published? Did I miss something? No way.
I think they might have published some benchmarks, but the Llama 3 400B is not even done training.
Yeah. I think they said at this point it's scoring at this benchmark level, and then we're gonna keep you posted. I think that's what they communicated.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's best in class.
It's really interesting. So audio ASR performance. So maybe they'll get into a little bit more detail of how this actually works under the hood, because with the context of knowing how it works under the hood, maybe we could discover, you know, new tricks, let's say, for how to utilize it better.
Oh, and they did this. They were super vague on the languages, but I don't know if you guys ever tested it in different languages, but when I ran it on, for example, Slovak, a super niche language or something, it just eats so many tokens. Like it's barely usable. Look at that. German, 1.2 times fewer tokens.
That's good to see.
Yeah. Hindi,
so
almost three times less tokens.
They're definitely trying to go for like a more globular, I don't even think that's a word, but global approach that they're really focused on accessibility. I think that's one of the main drawbacks that we can take away here, is that more languages, free for everybody, easier to use.
Yeah. Okay. But still, I haven't been able to gather the info from this blog post on what do the paid users get now, and why shouldn't everybody cancel the paid subscription?
Control A, paste into Claude or something, or Chat GPT.
Use Claude to see why I should not cancel Chat GPT.
Yeah, Claude will be biased.
Yeah, very much so. They haven't said anything about a secondary round of announcements or anything.
Wait, I found it.
I mean, I would presume that paid users would probably at least get access to this first at minimum, but I don't know if that's compelling enough for someone to necessarily sign up for it if they haven't already. I don't know. Maybe it would be.
GPTO available in the free tier, and to Plus users with up to 5 times higher message limits. Roll out a new version of voice mode with GPT-4o and alpha within ChatGPT Plus in the coming weeks. So the new version of the voice mode is only for ChatGPT Plus users. Intentionally vague on that for a reason.
Yeah,
very much so.
So that's a Plus only feature.
And does this mean the API is immediately accessible because they're saying also now?
Yeah, that looks like the API is probably going to just be
Is it immediate?
Available.
I remember when Assistance API came out, it was right after the event. Let's see.
Somebody in the comments we're opening up access to our new flagship model, GPT-4o, and features like browse, data analysis, and memory to everyone for free with limits. So yeah, in parentheses, with limits.
Okay, so it looks like you don't get the speech interaction, though, the new speech interaction, but you do get the new model.
Okay.
And it looks like these new models that they're releasing, like it's meant to replace the old one for sure, in every capacity. It's not like, oh, this is like a faster, cheaper model, but you still use GPT-4 for these, or the older version of GPT-4 for these use cases. It looks like a direct replacement.
Yeah.
Siri killer for a start. Also, Amazon Alexa just looks pitiful. Yeah, and talk about the Rabbit R1, huh? This basically turns
Yeah.
your phone into something very similar. Although, the Rabbit R1 has some extra functionality to the best of my knowledge.
I mean, worth it though. I mean, like, what extra functionality does the Rabbit have that beyond, I
It's
can
worth
do
it.
this, I can touch it,
Guys, they posted a bunch of use case videos here, so they didn't do more live demos. I guess this was the
Okay.
discussion. Either we're going to upload a bunch of use case videos or do it live or both. I think they did the best thing. And I'm actually
Yeah.
very stoked about the fact that they set a precedent for the industry. It's like, hey, a pre-recorded video or just some benchmarks are not going to cut it. Sure, do those
Yeah.
too, but also show us live.
Yeah, I kind of am starting to understand more and more why they did it live. It's definitely more of a precedent for the industry, saying like Google, here's a big middle finger. Like, look what we can do. What you did fake, but actually, right?
Okay, you want to guys have a peek at
Oh,
this?
man.
2 GPT-4os interacting and singing.
Oh, this is my favorite thing in the world.
Wait, I hope. Okay, so audio should be fine.
All right, and actually, can you just sing a song about
It's silent.
what just transpired?
Oh, in a room with a stylish view, a person stood
It's a
in
bit silent.
sleek black and light hue. Engage with us so
And
direct.
can you alternate lines?
Person with
That's
stylish
cool.
feet, person with
So it was
stylish
letting the other one
feet.
sing.
With a playful moment right in the mist, in the room. In a room where modern lights speak.
Only one line at a time and then stop.
In a room where modern lights peak.
A surprise guest with a playful streak.
That was not really singing. Do the singing voice again, please.
Wow.
In a room
That's
where
right.
modern lights peak.
Surprise guest with a playful
That's got it.
streak.
This is definitely how it actually works. So this seems like a pretty honest demo.
Yeah. Yeah.
A moment of joy in the stylish suite.
Not hearable. We can't hear the video.
They
It might
can't
just be
hear it.
quiet.
They can't hear it. It's just super silent because there's
Yeah.
no voice control on this player. There's like no audio control here.
Yeah.
But there's one more that really caught my attention. Just a caption here, which is like use case for meetings. Like you can use the desktop app. Wait, I'm just starting to realize this is another one of those. OpenAI killed 1,000 startups.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely. Because all of these little use cases, it just makes so much more sense. Like all these tutors and translators and all of that.
Well, that was the big thing. When they were going through the math problem, that was one where I was really like, "Oh, this is going to be huge for education." Like in all honesty, just not even in the industry of tutoring or anything like that. Just straight up education. Like
Yeah.
that's pretty massive.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, like I said, it really feels so obvious in hindsight. Like the more we kind of get used to this new idea of what ChatGPT is, the more obvious it feels, as though it was supposed to be like this the whole time, and we just couldn't see it for some reason.
No, it's just the big leaps, Like Vision was so you could upload one frame now, and now it can like scan your desktop while you work and interact with it and talk to you.
I
in
used to
real
do
time.
that all the time. Like I would always take a screenshot and send it to ChatGPT and be like, "What the hell is going on?" And
There's no voice control.
now
here.
I can just pop open something. Apparently, I hope it's available on Windows.
I'm sure it will be. They
I'm
do
sure
show
it
off
will be
Mac,
too.
but I'm sure of it.
A lot of people are saying to play with GPT-4o on Playground, but
Can
you summarize this meeting for us?
Sure. So, in today's meeting, Lillian and Christine expressed their love for dogs.
Okay, so like they're just like, can you summarize this meeting for us? And then it listened throughout the entire meeting and
Yeah.
it just gives you the summary. So like
Yeah.
all of these external apps, they're just you just get the desktop.
so it
app
should
and
be
you
able to hear computer audio then. I imagine like your desktop audio.
Yep. No, it works. I
Highlighting
suppose
their
it's just a bit
loyalty,
silent.
Companionship, and how great they are with kids. On the other hand, Ola prefers cats for their independence.
Yeah, it just summarizes it. So this is just going to be case by case, real-time translation, lullaby, talking faster, happy birthday, dog, dad jokes.
Would it be I want to know if like you can just use it all day. Like, can I just work on my computer all day with this thing open the whole time and just talk to it on and off as needed?
That's a good question.
That's a good question. Actually, I was thinking about that when we were talking about the killing of 1,000 startups. Like generally, those like meeting assistant like devices that you hook up to your phone record, via MP3 and then transcribe all of that material. In this case, I don't know if is it just gonna does that playground? Is it up
Yeah,
and, is
it's
it,
available.
Whoa, okay.
It just popped up.
We have it.
It just popped up.
Berman's gonna be all over this right now.
Whoa. Okay, gentlemen, what do we do? Well, for the first time, we have uploading in here. Well, wait. No.
I never really messed around with this one. And what's the
changed though, right? This
context
is new.
length? They didn't even go over that.
It's true.
Like,
They didn't
is it
cover
128,000? Like GPT-4 Turbo?
That is a good question.
I've found that it never knows its own context length, but I think it's definitely worth a try.
It's worth a try.
It's fast.
4,000? That's
See,
that was. Did
I
you
don't
see that
think
speed,
that's
though?
true.
That's probably not true. Like just ChatGPT.
Well, try to crank the maximum tokens on the side there and see what it tells you.
But yeah, this is not gonna be. It's gonna be per message. So
right.
The speed is impressive, huh? I think that's the big.
Really fast.
Look at that.
That means when they were testing these models internally, or not internally, actually externally with us, LMSys and stuff, they were intentionally slowing the model down, right? I don't know if you guys messed with the bot.
Yeah, I did. So basically, that was GPT-2 was. Look at the speed.
That's the assumption, right? Is the assumption that that secret GPT-2 model is in fact GPT-0?
Wow, look at the speed.
That is fast.
Wow.
I just want to keep.
So instead of giving us something necessarily more powerful and just as slow, they gave us something the same power level, maybe a little bit better, and a lot faster and a lot more accessible. The model is in fact GPT.
Okay. Yeah. Indeed. Indeed. So let's see. Let's give it a screenshot of the stream. Upload image.
I'm gonna just head over to the OpenAI website real quick and just see if I can find anything on context limit.
Okay, the vision was not bad either. Did you see? Okay.
So what did it give here? Typical controls, functionality. Oh yeah, we got the viewer count over 50 minutes into the stream. Okay, that's pretty good. I mean, it looks like we got to give it a really tough test to test the vision. I'd be interested to see if the vision is a lot better. I'd love to see a benchmark in comparison to the GPT-4 Turbo vision, for example.
Yeah.
But that's something that we don't have to test right exactly now.
That takes a bit of time and a little bit of preparation.
Yeah.
But I'd be happy to test anything that the chat suggests. I mean, this is really the power of like being live and being here. So if anybody has some ideas what we could test right here, right now, first impressions, literally.
Someone was asking if Claude 3 Opus was slower. The answer is absolutely.
Yeah.
Way slower. This is blazing fast.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
good comments here. We should have been looking maximum token length. Let's do this.
And they said this is a gradual rollout, right? So in the coming weeks.
Yeah. So I think she said like something like 3 weeks over the coming weeks. So I checked that some already.
Yeah, to
no update for me.
And by the way, these features are not for people who don't have accounts.
Yeah. That cuts it off. Okay, let's see. Chat suggestions. Bring it on. Give it a meme video. It will recognize it. I don't think we can upload videos, right?
No, it only takes images. And when you're using the app in that little demo, I'm pretty positive that it's just taking a picture every so often, or maybe taking a picture based on when you speak to it.
No video. Okay.
No, it's not true multimodal video, and it's not true audio. It's still transcription. Although I don't know how it's doing the breathing effects and all that stuff, right? Unless I'm wrong on that. Someone correct me, please, if I am.
Snake game? Yeah, let's do it. Okay.
I'm gonna go browse the API and see if I can find some more information, like the documents for the API.
Oops.
Let's see. Keeping an eye on chat here. The token limit
So
resets when you
GPT-4
refresh.
Turbo
Okay.
is twice as expensive as GPT-4o
Got it.
in terms of input, and the output is also twice as cheap. And the original GPT-4 is even more expensive. So this is another half as cheap.
Yeah, these jumps are crazy, right? Yeah, 50%
Yes.
off everything. I love the voice, but they need a dial on the excitement tone. I agree. I mean, they could if they could prompt it to sound like a robot, I'm sure you will get some level of control over how it sounds.
Yeah,
Chill.
I mean, with the memory feature, you could just say like, "I want you to speak like this most of the time," right?
Yeah, yeah. This does look
Okay,
complete.
GPT-4o. I found the context length is the same at 128,000 tokens, which I really like to see. I'd love to see a needle in the haystack test, although I'm sure it's pretty good. Yeah, this is their new flagship model. They're describing it as their most advanced multimodal flagship model that's cheaper and faster than GPT-4 Turbo. Wow.
I wonder. Okay, so if I'm, on ChatGPT.com, this is still the old model, right? As this hasn't shipped yet.
Yeah. I was just talking.
I mean, look at that speed, just straight up, right?
That's still not too bad, right?
Yeah.
But then you compare it to the other one and you're like, oh,
Also,
that's
just
where the real time comes in.
Just here's my first impression. It has some of these tricks built into it, right? Because when you wanted code, you always needed to manually prompt it, give it to me in one code block. And here it seems to do that. Am I mistaken? Yeah, yeah, you can just copy the whole thing in one take, whereas here it still splits it. I mean, minor things, but I'm sure there's going to be a lot of these quality of life improvements under the hood that people figured out just by using it.
Almost 700 viewers is absolutely crazy.
That's amazing.
Sam leaning into the AI girlfriend memes on Twitter. Oh, okay. he tweeted her. That's it.
My God. Oh, okay,
That's
okay.
all he tweeted.
You gotta set that thirst trap, man.
Dude, there's definitely going to be people that are going to try to be in relationships with their freaking chat GPTs. Yeah, I love that photo. That's the one I saw floating around before the stream started.
Dude, that's literally my thumbnail for my upcoming video. I did it in Face Fusion. Sam's
This is a good one.
Better. That's great. That's great.
Yep. We figured it out.
Twitter delivers.
And it was not a GPT 4.5. It was something totally different. Like, it just goes to show like how off track we can be about our predictions.
Honestly, I mean, I gotta say, I think the fact that it picks up on emotion, I think that's severely underrated. I think we're gonna find that to be a huge use case. Dude, people are gonna be like, because that's the thing, I thought of all of these use cases, but you just couldn't build them. It could, I don't know the exact number, but it could do like 1 or maybe 2 frames per 1 frame per second, I think, if you use the Vision API.
Yeah.
And it could not pick up on like minor, mimic and body language cues. But now you could like have a little hidden camera essentially, or you could run around with a GoPro, feed that into like the phone or the laptop in your backpack, and have like a live, and have an earpiece and run around and be like, hey, I don't know, I'm on the autism spectrum. Please help me navigate social interactions. And it would be giving you advice, right? Like all these like amazing use cases. It's
just
now.
They're putting Jarvis in everyone's pockets, man. It's crazy.
They are. If it wasn't obvious up until now, yeah,
Mhm.
you heard it here first.
I mean, like you bring up a good point, Igor. Even just in terms of like I mean, you can almost think of it as like a first aid therapist as well. If it's able to pick up on vocal nuances in terms of depression, you know, potentially ask you like, how are you feeling right now? And the fact that it's able to respond and match a emotional tone as well, like, and not sound like a robot. I mean, it's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, absolutely. And JH designer saying it's called meta glasses. Well, first of all, the latency there is not this good, and secondly, it did not have the ability to pick up on subtle emotional cues. Right? You could like look at the Eiffel Tower and be like, "What is this?" and it told you. But when you looked at a person, it's it wasn't able to categorize emotions well. And I think in a world ran by humans, populated by humans, built for humans by humans, that's one of the most valuable things you can unlock in here. That's just my perspective.
Yeah, let's look at like I think that autism spectrum is a pretty good example because can you imagine if you had this model built in and connected to your chat GPT in something similar to those glasses where it can see things right in front of you and you can hear it in your ears. It would feasibly with this memory feature that we saw released lately, it could remember, okay, this person has autism and as this person's GPT, I'm going to help them when I notice they're in a social interaction, right?
Yeah.
So it could just do it automatically because it already it essentially all these compound upon the other features they built like memory.
Yeah.
Right.
Gosh, there's a great comment here. Nickelodeon surname saying, "Man, I hope Google have a rabbit in their hat tomorrow, or their share price will be on their floor again."
I do not think
Yeah.
so. That's something I was going to ask you guys, and maybe everybody in the comments too. Is what were you more fired up over the weekend about? Was it this event or was it tomorrow's I/O event?
For me, it was
I barely even remembered Google I/O was tomorrow.
Yeah.
I only know because Matt Wolf is on his way to Google I/O. So
Right. No,
Yeah.
that's fair. I think that there's going to be something cool there, but people already have such a hard time trusting Google, and that's Google's main issue. And this is what I told them when I spoke to them when we were doing consulting about their Gemini models. I'm like, you guys realize that people don't trust Google, and they don't trust Google's AI products nearly as much as they trust OpenAI.
The one thing that I'm still like, and maybe we'll see it later on, because I don't think that OpenAI is done with their announcements. I think that we're going to be seeing like a trickle out. They've even said like they're not going to do big version numbers. They just want to iterate small updates here and there. And I think this is like the first of the big small updates. But yeah, I mean, I really was hoping that they were going to eat Google's lunch just by having this AI assistant and then integrating that in with the Google suite of apps. We've seen a couple of screenshots of that, of somewhere in the code, it basically being able to access Drive, Calendar, and I think Mail. So once that happens, though, I mean, that's I mean, for me at least, I mean, I can't wait for that to happen just because I need something that integrates into Google Calendar. Notion is terrible. Most of them, all of the planners are really bad at it for some reason.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's something I'm absolutely killing for, and they're going to wait until it works perfectly or works very well, reliably, to bring it to us, I imagine.
That was the other surprising thing. So news did break today that the Apple thing did go through, right? I think I saw confirmation that that deal went through. I was surprised that they actually didn't even mention that here.
No. It's probably just like they need all that stuff to be double checked by lawyers, I'm sure, when they make public announcements. So it's more or less just something that they're probably going to wait until they can say it properly or announce it properly publicly. Too soon for that, I suppose.
I just gotta say, there's just some really good comments here that I want to read out loud. Daniel Pierce with more like Google I-O, or then we have more like Google I don't know.
Welcome
to the internet. I mean, yeah. Like, what can they? It feels like the only thing that could be like interesting. But then again, we didn't predict this, and what do we know, and everything. But it feels like the only thing is like really the integrations they have, right? Integration, some like super some super well-crafted integration with YouTube or something with Google Calendar or something with Gmail.
I mean, to be honest, the only thing I want out of and I was amazed that I couldn't do this in Gemini was, hey, Gemini, scan my emails. Let me know if there are any events that I need to attend upcoming.
Yeah.
Put those events into my Google Calendar. And it can't do that. It's like, sorry, I don't have access to your email. I can summarize a few of your emails. You put some of those into my Google Calendar. Ooh, can't do that, my friend. Like, that is...
Yeah,
that is,
and it can only read like 5 at a time, which is like, what good is that? You know?
This is all your stuff. It's one ecosystem. Get it to work together. Like, it's so frustrating.
Yeah.
But they all, I mean, like, anytime that you're in that Google system, like, it's really tough. I was just listening to MKBHD's podcast, the Waveform thing, where it was a couple of episodes back where they were going through all the various task management software. And like, if you're just on a very basic level, like, really it comes down to what the Google Calendar does work, and Keep kind of works. Google Keep, which they keep forgetting about and then killing and then reviving and then forgetting about again.
Yeah.
But it's just like nothing plays together. And like, how is that possible, Google? I just have very little faith in tomorrow's Google event wowing me in any way, other than them coming out and saying, like, we finally have figured out how to talk to each other, guys.
I mean, it shows you how confident OpenAI is, too. They scheduled this event the day before Google I/O, not the day after. They don't think Google has anything, that's for sure, and neither do I, to be honest. I mean, I honestly hope Google has a rabbit to pull out of their hat, because that makes things interesting. That, sparks more competition, which is what we want. But I don't think they got it. I really don't.
I guess we shall see, and good comments here too, pointing out that Google will be fine. People really underestimate the heavy lift and cost of user acquisition. Sure, we're just talking about, tomorrow's event and about this, like, concrete vertical of AI consumer products and developer interfaces.
Yeah, the context here is on the micro scale, not the macro scale by any means.
Yeah. I mean, hey, this is, AI YouTube community channel, not stock market analysis.
Have I been using the wrong mic all this time?
Let me see. Did my mic just change?
Yeah, it did.
Oh, God.
Does it sound better now?
Yeah, now you sound good.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Okay.
But hey,
I was
delay.
literally using the camera mic. Okay.
It's totally fine. We're live. This is the price you pay for live chat interaction and everything. I think everybody's fine with it too. Like, I mean, even OpenAI had their hiccups with their,
that's true.
in their live demo. That's just what it is. But some really, really good points here. Now, what are you guys gonna do next, except of sitting down and creating a YouTube video on this announcement?
I'm gonna start thinking about use cases for sure.
Who thumbed me down? Why did I get thumbed down?
Yeah, what is? I don't know what that is. I keep seeing that. I don't know what that is. I thought that you were doing that, to be honest.
Can we actually do that to each other? I don't know. I don't have that. Wait, hang on.
I don't know if we can like emote. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know either.
Whatever. No, I'll be digging into all of the use cases in particular, putting that together for the video for today. And other than that, I guess tomorrow will be Google. And then what else is upcoming this week? Do we have a Microsoft event coming this week, or?
Not aware.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't heard of any of that stuff. I've actually been. This is a side note. I started working on a video about whether AI can be conscious or not, like a more deep exploration style video.
Nice.
So that's something that I'm excited about. Other than this, but I now it's like after I started working on that, I'm like, dang, I wish I had this new Chat GPT where I could just talk to it on and off to help me write this video, to help me work on this video. It's like, it's insane how large the leaps and bounds are, even with like small little tweaks, like, oh, now it works in real time, now it's a desktop app. It's just crazy.
It just got my mind spinning just listening to you guys. Like, I'm most interested in playing with custom instructions for the desktop app that looks at your kind of desktop. I think you're going to be able to like set up a lot of presets in there that give it a specific goal and a lot of your personal context that is just going to really change the behavior beyond just changing the sound of the voice.
Yeah, context is everything.
With that desktop view, one of the things that the use cases, I think, Igor, that we were talking about earlier, in the chat while the presentation was going on. I'm actually really curious because I think you edit in Premiere as well. I'm really curious to have it watch me edit or watch down and edit and make suggestions, like almost like having another AE with you. Like that'll be really interesting to see what it can do.
My intuition on that is it will not be very useful, but I think it's going to be very interesting indeed. You know what? Like, honestly, I think the formula is going to be this, and this is like where, like all the variety in the channels is going to shine, because like usually it's like, hey, here's an announcement, and then everybody kind of brings their point of view to it. But I think here it's going to get really interesting with like coming uploads, because the formula is essentially going to be ChatGPT 4.0 plus the apps and the workflows that you actually use. And then you're just going to share what you found in there. And we use different editing software. We play different games. For example, like I live in Lisbon now. I'm like, once I have it, I'm going to go out there, and like I don't speak Portuguese yet, but like I'm going to see how that works, right? And we're going to like use it for whatever it's useful, for whatever, brings advantage into our life.
That would be a great video. You should just do it like vlog style. Just head out there.
Yeah.
And test it out in public.
Yeah.
AI in the real world.
Would also be a good stream, I think. Yeah, just with that low latency and everything. So
yeah,
or
you could live stream with ChatGPT as your companion.
yeah, totally. I mean, a lot of streamers are just gonna have that on in the background and like, ChatGPT, what you think? I'm curious also about gaming, because it's like it's actually a surprisingly good guide in games where it has the in-game knowledge, like RPGs and whatever. And now you're gonna get to just have it on your secondary screen and just be like, okay, what do I do for this mission, or like what would be the approach to this boss fight or whatever. It's just thinking out loud.
I was even thinking
think
like,
about that.
since I'm always like, I'm eternally 5 minutes into a Blender tutorial, just open up Blender, have it teach me Blender. You know what I mean? Like that would be really interesting as well.
Yeah.
Like instead of going through a tutorial, just have it teach it to me.
I mean, I'm just looking
it's
at
almost
my bar
like
here.
you're never intentionally alone again.
Yeah.
You can
Wow,
think
that's
about it
deep.
like that.
That is deep.
Yeah, there was a comment in chat before.
Once you lose internet, like think about that. That makes your internet connection and your phone that much more valuable too. It's like, I don't have my ChatGPT.
Yeah. That's interesting. Okay, is there an angle? Like my brain just tells me there must be an angle with like TikTok and Reels and Shorts plus this. Could there be like could it change the user interface where you have like a ChatGPT guiding you kind of through the vast nothingness that is TikTok? I don't know. Maybe not.
I'm not sure.
That's so interesting.
I'm not sure.
But like coding assistant, obviously, that's an obvious one. I think somebody commented something really interesting before, which is
ChatGPT crutch.
which is that you could like not just use it as a gaming tutor or something, as I said, but you could also use it as, hey, simulate 3 friends that are on Discord with me while I play.
Oh man,
All right,
that's scary.
that is
Long term.
yeah.
And then when they get good enough, it's like, okay, what's the difference between that and a real person?
Yeah.
Macro view.
Yeah. Longer term. So, yeah. Craze saying, what about live streams with it, where it interacts with the chat in lifetime? Yeah.
Dude. Yeah, where it
Yeah.
picks out, like your moderator, picks out the best comments, like, hey, someone that said this.
Yeah. And brings it up on screen. No, that's really...
There's a
like,
lot to think about.
There's a lot to think about. And I think the main point...
You start hooking this into something like, like a DID, not even a DID, actually a HeyGen like model. I mean, some of those models are insane at this point now.
give it a face.
I mean, you've basically got, a 24/7 streamer available at that point.
Yeah.
Or even just, if somebody smart ends up hooking it up, you can actually just sit there and FaceTime with, your AI agent as well. Like literally like
AI
FaceTime.
girlfriend.
AI girlfriends, man, they are going to explode.
Yeah. So I think what I was going to bring up is the point that a lot of people have built these applications which are so interesting in theory, right? Like Open Interpreter and just these things that can kind of interact with your computer. But like everybody, again, I need to reiterate this. If you weren't aware, like the limits on the GPT-4 Vision API up until now, they were so severe. You couldn't build 99% of the things that sounded interesting in theory, because it was like,
Yeah.
it cannot take video. It can take a picture every second, let's say. And that's just not good enough to, and then when you got the voice response, the transcription, you had to run it through the model, speech to text. It took like 4 seconds to get an answer back, and it just felt, that's out of the window now. So it's going to open up a whole new category of things that you can do with it and not just have it assist you. Big. And we didn't even talk about GPTs kind of having all of this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That kind of got buried in the lead, didn't it? It was like, it was right in the opening, like, oh, blah blah blah, GPTs, and then we kind of moved off that fairly quickly. Partially because, I mean, in my opinion, at least, GPTs haven't been super exciting, at least I've found, at least. I don't know about you guys. I'm kind of mid, as they say, on GPTs, but with all of this, and then you throw GPTs into it, and GPTs are now free for everyone. I mean, that's going to be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes.
We'll see if the GPTs can work in a live sense as well. Like, could you build GPTs to specifically work in that live state where you're talking to it and have your camera open? It's a lot of questions.
I think so. And then they will have actions too, right? So it will be able to...
Yeah, exactly.
I'll just hook it up to my Notion, and it will be able to save like memories into there, and I'll use this as my memory management for one. And then it can retrieve those. That's a very simple one. But beyond that, like...
Sounds like a good video idea. I'd love to learn how to do that.
I can, yeah. Okay, maybe I can do that. Maybe I can show you. It's actually quite simple. Notion API integration is very, very quite intuitive. But that's interesting. Yeah. Okay, so I guess, final question, guys. By the way, it's funny how we said we're going to spend 5 to 10 minutes discussing this.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go off and create our own videos, right, for the channels. And it's been 40 minutes, and we're like, well, what else? What else?
But what else? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just going to run this as my video. I'm just going to screen cap this, throw it back up there.
I'll definitely mention it. That's for sure.
Yeah, if you guys want it, I recorded the sources. So I have like all the separate videos and layers. Like I can send you a Dropbox link. Maybe you could use it for something, maybe not. I don't know. Just in case.
I'll probably just point people to the VOD.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, that's good. And then that's perfect. That's perfect. Yeah, well, this was a lot of fun. It's so cool to have your opinions, here and have this live discussion, and then having hundreds of people in chat chiming in with all of their unique use cases and what they get excited about. This is fantastic.
One of the most fun things, because the chat always goes by so fast. I really do love coming back, on replay later on and just going through and reading everybody's comments. You guys are awesome.
I agree.
Oh, yeah. There's an endless sea of just really smart and intelligent ideas and things that you didn't think about before.
Yeah.
Same thing on the Discord servers as well. Like, it's just, there's so much out there. And I want to thank everybody for watching, by the way. It's over 600. We hit 700 viewers, which is like over twice what we had on the first stream on this channel. So that's pretty incredible.
Yeah. And we'll keep doing this. We said bi-weekly schedule. Now some of the other people are traveling. I think, I won't make any announcements yet, but some of the requests that you guys made in the first chat for specific YouTubers that should come on have actually already confirmed. So you will see some of the faces that you requested on here. I think Matt will be back in 2 weeks. I think he said that he's just traveling now, but he'll be here for the next one. So, more of this is happening. Subscribe to the channel. We'll put up a quick placeholder video for the one in 2 weeks. But yeah, this is great. And it's fantastic to have everyone in here.
Yeah. The whole point of this is to bring everyone together, not only to bring you guys together, but to bring all of the, faces, let's say, in the AI community together.
I agree. And I think all of us agree that there is only so much motivation we can gather from doing this by ourselves. I can maybe right now only speak for me personally, but a bulk of the motivation to create more and to do more comes from the fact that I see I see the chats and I see the reactions and I see the comments, and that it's real humans with their own ideas on where to take this. And we all share this kind of optimistic outlook of okay, let's make the best of the tech we have today and what we can do with it, rather than some of the mainstream narratives or the longer term narratives that, I think that it's fair that there's multiple sides to it. But right now, this is amazing, and it's gonna allow me to talk to the lady that sells me my orange juice and baguettes in the morning, right? Where usually I'm just like, obrigado.
I love a
And
live
I'm like,
reaction
okay.
of someone's mind just being blown by that.
Yeah,
I would love to see that.
yeah. This was fantastic. So thanks everybody, and
All right.
everybody watching the recording, please also comment your favorite use case. What are you looking forward to trying with this? We're gonna get a rollout over the next few weeks. So, you know, we will create our update videos now, and once it's live, we're gonna be doing our use case videos. But this has really been fantastic. Any closing remarks?
I mean,
I'm
still,
good.
again, I mean, I go back to like completely. I think I'm whelmed. I was both overwhelmed and underwhelmed. I'm whelmed. That's where I am with this whole thing. But actually, as we talk about this, becoming more and more excited.
Yeah. What I have for thoughts is, yeah, OpenAI did their thing. That's for sure. They did what they do best
They
every single
smashed
time,
the
which is like kind
ceiling.
of blow our minds, show us the direction it's headed in. It's clear that they know what the AI is capable of and what people are looking to do with it.
Mhm. That's a good point. That actually is a very good point. Whereas I do not think that Google knows. We'll see tomorrow. I still feel that
I think-
Google is going to be like,
I bet it's
here are
divided
a
there.
bunch of
I bet
announcements of
people are
things
kind
that
of
you didn't actually need.
Yeah. Fantastic stuff. Okay, cool. So subscribe to everyone's channel. Surely within the next 24 hours, everyone here is gonna have an upload on this topic. You know, I'm gonna actually like reconvene and like take a step back and think about some of this for a minute here, because I feel like we missed a lot of the little things in between. Also, they released this blog post that seems to be very detail rich with like around 10 videos with new use cases. I'm gonna look at those. I'm actually, Matt, you're probably also gonna talk to your Discord community and see like what they think and check that before you make the video, right? Because that's just invaluable. Yeah, I'm planning
absolutely. I mean, just to see what people are thinking, see what the community reaction is, because there might be a lot of good thoughts that I just haven't got to yet, right?
Absolutely. And then also like reviewing this chat, it's I think super valuable. People are going to be commenting here too throughout the next week. Absolutely. So very
Rebecca
interesting.
Miller with just wait till this gets put in the next Neuralink, and that is something that I have definitely thought about as well.
Micmac says, "Gonna sleep and wake up to AI videos." Hell yeah, yeah, I love it.
My man, absolutely. Well, good. This has been great. I'm off to a little discussion in my community just to chat about this stuff, and then you know it's recording time. Doesn't matter. You know this is an advantage you guys have in the US. Here it's like 7 p.m. and I'm getting started here. You guys have all day. But
grab some coffee.
It's rough.
I will.
No, I'm gonna go eat some food, and then I'll start to get working on a video that I gotta get that posted today for sure.
Yeah.
Because I got stuff to do later.
Yeah. And thank you so much for joining like this experiment, to all the viewers and all the participants. Sorry for the little audio hiccups. This was the first time we had multi-person audio and restreaming something off YouTube. Definitely learned some things, but it was so good to hang out in here, you know, instead of just being by yourself, you got to hang out with over 600 people that are enthusiastic about the same topics that you, me, and everybody else here care about. So
it's just so darn cool.
That's just perfect. You know, in when you're out on the streets, we're usually like, these topics don't fly very well with normal people. Let's just say it that way. It's good to be in a space where we can kind of like talk about this. It's a safe space, everybody.
Yeah. Safe space away from the normies.
Yeah. Keep them doing their things. All right. Thanks, everybody. This is it. See you in 2 weeks. And yeah.
Peace out.
See you guys.
Peace.